Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan, and the topic of this 10-minute moan is this man, whose name is hard to pronounce, Oghenochuko Ojiri, who's 53, art dealer, and is a BBC TV presenter who was found guilty at court today under terror charges. What he's been found guilty of is doing £140,000 worth of business with people who finance Hezbollah. He pleaded guilty to 8 different counts and will be sentenced next month. What I think is a bit bizarre is there's a lot of coverage of him going to court in the mainstream, but at the point of recording this video, the mainstream haven't told us that he's been found guilty. I think he must have pled guilty, to be honest with you. I don't think the trial took place and it was heard in full today. I think he must have pled guilty at the trial. Now, this guy, he was a bargain hunt expert, and also what was the other show he done? He done 2, bargain hunt and oh god, what was the other one? This is annoying me. But he's been been employed by the BBC for a long time, and he get charged under Antiques Road Trip, and Channel 5's, to be fair, storage, flog it, the lot. He's worked in the BBC since 2023. Now, what happened here? He, as I say, an art dealer. He'd opened up a gallery in London years ago. He's from West London. And he was charged with 8 counts of failing to make and disclose during the course of business within the regulated sector, following an investigation into terrorism financing. The offences were apparently taking place between October 2020 and December 21. What I find odd is, he worked up to 2023, that's when he was arrested. He was actually arrested in Wales, and he was Section 21A of the Terrorism Act 2000, so this act's been out for 5 years. He's the first person ever to be charged with it. And it turns out he'd been doing business with Hezbollah, people who finance Hezbollah. But I don't think doing business with people is just, would see having get these charges, but try to cover up you've been doing business with them, or indeed doing unscrupulous business has probably led to these charges. If it was just somebody walked into your shop and bought a painting and the guy happened to be somebody that was funding Hezbollah, then how would you know? So I kind of think there's obviously more to it than this, and hopefully it'll come out in the wash. I tell you, it's another strange thing though. See, if you take his name, right, and you stick it into our old friend Google, which I'll just do just now, it's amazing that you then go news and then you put that into date order, and he was arrested in 2023, but there's news like a day ago about it, and that's kind of it. You can't see anything else on this guy on the internet. Now, I find that a bit bizarre for a person who was a BBC presenter. It's not as if he was in some obscure programme and nobody knew about it. Bargain hunting, these sort of things, they're kind of big, they're a big deal. So I find it quite strange. And then you can also go on to Companies House. He was a director of 3 companies, all sort of arty things: the Dalston Dressing Room Limited, Jessamy Limited, which looks like, again, its address is a gallery, and Pelicans and Parrots, which is an odd name for a business, and they don't classify what they've done. So, but there's a severe lack of stuff about this guy on any Google searches. It's almost as if, there you go, this whole guy's life, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the first page, there's just nothing about him. Do you know what I mean? It's most bizarre. He's quoted in one has actually been Nigerian, so I don't know if he's moved here or he was born here, but he certainly was living in London when he was working for the BBC. And it's just bizarre, the severe lack of stuff. What is weird, in 2024, so about 6 months ago, the Liverpool Echo, now bear in mind he was arrested in 2023, they done an article on it about his life after the BBC. But if you look at, he was arrested in 2023 and stopped working for the BBC in 2023, you can kind of imagine that was why. And they decided to do an article on it. It turns out that he leads a private and peaceful life, running his own art gallery, indulging in his passion for collecting antiques. I'm not surprised he was leading a private and peaceful life when, for the last 2 years, while awaiting trial for charges under terrorism. It's a bit, but that, you can find that out about him. So, and again, if you think about that logically, for somebody who is famous enough for this newspaper to do an article when he hadn't done anything for a couple of years, but you can't find anything else out about him on the internet. Staying up to date with events around the world can be difficult, where it's impossible to consult a single source for the full story. Narratives that shape public opinion often just reinforce media and corporate-backed vested interests. It's hard to know what information to trust. See what the media is exaggerating, sensationalising, over or under reporting. That's why I've been using Ground News. Ground News is an app and website that combines news from around the world in one place so you can compare coverage. For every news source, you can see if it has any political bias, how reliable the reporting is, and who owns them. They even have a blind spot feed that highlights news disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. Take a data-driven view on the news and stay current. Get news from thousands of sources worldwide in one place. I've been using Ground News to help me get all the world's news in one place and give a more balanced opinion on what we read and viewing who is telling us the truth and who isn't. Subscribe via my link to get 40% off the Vantage subscription. It's the one I use to get unlimited access to every feature. Your subscription can not only help my channel, but also help Ground News, as it makes the media landscape more transparent. I find that pretty weird, if I'm honest. So there you go. Sentencing will be fun. I suppose it will depend on his political views whether he gets a custodial sentence or not, because that kind of seems to be the way of the United Kingdom right now. But £140,000 worth of business with Hezbollah funders. Crazy, isn't it? Really, really crazy. So, and it had to be the BBC, didn't it? So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, you want others to see it, hit the thumbs up, put some comments, hit the share button. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. And thank you to everybody who has. And if you want notified of when I put out new videos, click the little bell icon and you'll get a notification from YouTube. But most important of all, unless you're the type of person that wants to make money, no doubt, and put money towards people such as Hezbollah, who are terrorists, then not you. But everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.